Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to the Hardcore Podcast. This is episode 70, and I'm your host, Christopher Norwood.
And I'm your host, Robert Milton. What's up, guys?
Give them time to respond. How are y'all doing? Give them time to respond. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing pretty well.
Heck yeah.
How about yourself?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Today is a special day. I just learned this, actually. Today is Steve Irwin's birthday.
No way.
Yeah.
So Steve Irwin's birthday, George Washington's birthday.
Yeah, I think it said he would have been 62 today.
Damn. R.I.P., dude.
Born in 62.
I think he died in 06.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember that because I think it might have been in like August or September, like right before school started.
Right before. Oh, wow. So we didn't even know each other yet.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because we had met each other that year.
Crazy.
You know, that school year. It was either 06 or 07.
Yeah.
Um,
Dude, I used to love Steve Irwin. I used to be a fucking Animal Planet, like, fanatic back in the day.
oh, really?
Yeah.
No, Mikey was too. He always has been into, like, just, like, learning shit. Always, like, Discovery Planet, World Planet, the History Channel. He's always been into that stuff. But yeah, Steve Irwin was a good dude.
Indeed.
Very
His
good dude.
his children are continuing his
Oh,
legacy.
seriously. They're also good dudes and dudettes.
God, I haven't heard do that in a
I
long
know,
time.
right? It was kind of cringe.
Yikes.
Yikes.
This is a no cringe podcast. Get out of here.
I think this is a full cringe podcast.
How's about you get out of here?
We only cringe.
Yeah, absolutely. We love the cringe.
We love it. So today we are going to be going over some new game announcements, new trailers. We got
Hold on.
a new.
Can you do that again, but make it more cringe?
Make it more cringe?
Yeah. It's very monotone. We need to spice it up a little bit.
I can't. Too much pressure. Can you do it?
Today we're going to be going over some game announcements, videos, game trailers,
Cool.
and super heckin' awesome, super duper cool. What else is there?
Oh my gosh, that did make me
Gaming
cringe,
news?
actually. Yeah, so we had a Nintendo Direct 2/21/24. So as of today, that was yesterday. And then IGN has been doing this new thing called the IGN Fan Fest. And that's been going that's been happening over the past few days. Is it done now?
I don't know if it's like a weekend long thing or not.
So I guess we'll
So-
see here in a few days if we keep getting trailers. But we've
hoping
had
so.
some new interesting like game reveals and trailers
Yeah.
that we're going to talk about.
And
At least the ones that are interesting to us, because there's a lot.
oh, did you mention the Nintendo Direct too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, 2/21/24 Nintendo Direct.
And we're also getting a Pokemon Direct next week.
Yes.
I want to say
20
Tuesday, maybe.
27th.
It's tomorrow's the 23rd.
25th.
It's either Monday or Tuesday. One or the other. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, that will be covered on the next episode.
Yeah, that is that Tuesday. So yeah, we've been really waiting for that one.
Yeah.
So
God, there has to be some good shit in there.
man, I hope so. I don't even know if like that's a lot of hype to live up to.
Mm-hmm.
Just again because people have been speculating about like new Pokemon games for like a year now.
Yeah. Oh, and fun fact, apparently Palworld just passed sales for Scarlet and Violet.
That is just nuts.
That is
That's
nuts.
hard to fathom.
It's been out for a month. Scarlet and Violet's been out for a year and 2 months. 3 months.
And speaking of Palworld, I don't know if you did the same, but we got on last night for it wasn't even that long.
Mm-hmm.
But finally put the pals in the pal box. Just because I don't know when the next time I'm going to get on is.
Yeah. We've done everything.
We've pretty much done everything. Yeah, we've beat the tower leaders. We've beat the legendary pals. Captured them.
We've made a hella strong team.
Yeah, I mean, and there's still like I don't have a perfect Mazzarina. I don't have a perfect chickpea. There's still things we could do.
You'd have to go through 137 pals to
But
perfect them all.
I was thinking about it last night, but it's like I could do these things, but why?
Yeah,
Like,
what's the
I
reason?
have everything, like there is no end goal.
Yeah,
Like
you're.
I'm not building up this power to then do this. Like I've already done it all.
Yeah,
But yeah, park the pals. It's
parked
kind of
them up.
sad. It's kind of sad seeing the base just, no one's working on anything. It's just empty.
Empty. They're living in hell. Literally. It's not like Pokemon where they have like a luxurious Pokeball.
Uh-huh.
They're
Oh,
just
gosh.
trapped in a sphere, all disfigured, and
Is that what it is?
probably.
Oh,
I'd like to
man.
imagine that.
Dang.
I mean, you're enslaving them.
It's really crowded in there,
imagine,
too.
imagine the humans in there.
I have one.
I think I have like 5.
Yeah, I just have one.
I caught a black marketeer like a couple weeks ago.
They're just like bullying the shit out of him in the
Yeah.
PAL box.
Oh, I didn't really think about the actual POW box. I was
Oh, I
just
thought
thinking
that's
about
what
them
you were-
being in the sphere itself.
Oh, well,
But maybe
yeah, I
they're
feel like it's got to be different in the PAL
Yeah.
box. So is that kind of more to like a Pokeball? Like you think that's a little more peaceful?
maybe it's a little
little
more
piece of Eden.
spacious than a sphere, but probably not as peaceful as a Pokeball.
Mhm.
Maybe it's like a jail cell. I like to imagine
Okay.
that.
They're just like, I'm so used to working. What do I do?
Yeah. Work no longer, my pal.
Yeah, take a break. Take a break. You've literally earned this break. Take it.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of break, you are currently on vacation since today's your birthday. You took the week off. What have you been doing?
Yes, I usually always take my I always take my I always take my birth week off. But I've literally just been just chilling. I mean, nothing exciting, but like that's what I wanted. I just wanted to relax. Haven't even really been playing many games. Again, we got on Palworld for a little bit. We did play Goat Simulator 3
Oh, yeah, we did play
for a little
that.
while because that just came out.
Yeah.
And that was pretty fun.
It's definitely a fun game. It's
I've-
weird as hell, but
Very weird.
so many good references, though.
Yes, I've never played anything like it.
Yeah.
That was fun. Just been hanging out with Remus, exercising here and there with Remus.
Damn, Remus pumping iron?
Dude, he's
Hitting
he's
the
getting
squat
swole.
rack?
He's getting swole. He's getting a little pump in
Sheesh.
here and there. Watching some movies. I'm trying to think of some good movies I watched. Fast and Furious 9.
You said good movies.
Incredible movie. Look, I sent a snap yesterday to it's like a work snap group because they know that I really like the Fast and Furious movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at the reviews on Amazon Prime, and they have really good reviews. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I imagine so.
It's like 4.5 stars out of 5.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anything inherently bad about the movies. It's just the same movie over and over.
You know who's weirdly obsessed with those movies? I seen a clip of him talking about it. I just thought it was really interesting.
Joe Rogan?
No, it's Christopher Nolan.
Wait, really?
Yes.
What?
So the guy who gave us the amazing Batman trilogy, the Nolan
What
trilogy.
the hell?
Yeah. And he just makes incredible movies, but he's like, yes, I'm obsessed with the Fast and Furious movies.
That's
He
so
said they're good.
strange.
And that's how I know that those movies are good.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
solidified it for me.
sure. I mean, Quentin Tarantino's into feet. That means feet are great.
I'm not really into feet. I'm not saying they're bad.
Fair?
Yeah. Hey, it could be a lot worse. People are into some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They 100% are. I actually seen a Facebook post today about some girl. Well, okay, it was a post of a girl's portrait that got shared, like her profile picture on Facebook. It got shared, and it had like thousands of likes and shares, and it was just her and her like baby. But if you go to the comments, there's like articles posted there and shit about her because she got arrested for fucking her dog. And she admitted it to the police, and like her boyfriend filmed it and everything. Dude, it was wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's definitely
So yeah,
weirder than what I was about to say.
people are into some weird shit.
I was just going to say, yeah, I've recently seen some Etsy reviews. some objects, and people are into some weird shit.
Oh yeah, let's explain further. So there's this weird, God, I don't even know how to explain it. So I think how I found it is I either seen a reel or a TikTok of a person saying to go to Etsy and then search like cock ring or
butt plug,
lingerie, whatever it is, and then go to the photos, and there are literally people there posting their purchases, but in them or
using
them inside of them,
them
or
off.
whatever, showing them off.
It will be 65-year-old Jer Bear with a fucking butt plug in. He's naked. You can see his penis, his old wrinkly ass, and he's giving it like a 2 or 3 star review, but he still posts that. I'm like,
yeah.
And you can see his face and everything. I'm like, this is crazy, dude.
Yeah,
People have no shame.
Yeah, he's like, this butt plug doesn't really fit as well. I'd go a size up, and that one will be more full.
It keeps falling. Yeah, it keeps falling out.
Yeah, so if you're interested, it's a good pastime, but it's definitely the Forbidden West.
Yes. So all that to say, if Quentin Tarantino isn't a feet play, I don't know if that's a term for it, but in defeat, like, don't shame him.
No. Honestly, he'd probably love yours.
Again, a couple weeks ago or a week ago, you seen the things, or you heard the things I was into.
That's true.
Shame.
That's true. You got a point.
Enter in Anubis Howl.
Oh.
All right, so let's go over the Nintendo Direct first.
All right.
Because there was really only 2 games for me worth like making note of.
All right.
Was there anything else? Oh,
there is one. But yeah,
okay.
Let's run the intro.
Run the intro. So you said there is another one other than the 2 that I have, and I know you know the 2 that I have. So you go ahead with that first one.
I wasn't talking about that. I was just going to say that I finally started The Last of Us, and I am committed to finishing it.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
Do you want to, or you want to save till I finish it?
Well, just give like first impression. Like, what do you think? Because obviously you've heard over the years all the hype. The show's hype. I've been wanting you to play this for a long time. You've played it at one point and got a few hours in. So, yeah, take it from there.
Okay, so the spot where I'm at now, I want to say I'm like maybe 7.5 hours in.
Okay.
Something like that. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen or played, but I am right after the part where Will and Sam die. So a good ways in. I'd say maybe 4/10. It's like pretty close to halfway, right? What do you think?
I mean, I'm thinking you're there or actually
that's
past,
about the halfway mark,
or like right past the halfway mark.
Yeah. So with that being said, although that sniper part,
ooh,
I love that. That was cool.
That was cool.
So I was like, all right, I killed all the baddies, and then I was like, oh fuck, zombies.
Yeah, so that part in the game was really sick because it's like going through all like the houses on the side and stuff, just making your way there. Like, ooh, this is badass.
Mm-hmm. So that was a pretty fun part. I will admit that. But I will say, going into it, I knew the story already. I did watch the show.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
Before I finished the actual game, I've started the game, then watched the show, and now I'm back to playing the actual game. I will say, I feel like it's way overhyped. Though it is good. Obviously, the story is phenomenal.
Even keeping in mind like how old the game is, still overhyped.
That's where it gets tricky, I think. It is a simple game, you know. The mechanics aren't like anything insane, although it paved the way for like the survival and what do you call it, action adventure games nowadays, zombie games. Are they even zombies?
Yeah, I would still, I guess, simplify them. It's just like zombies, zombie-esque.
But yeah, it's definitely a good game. I won't shit on it in that regard. I just don't think it's a genre that I can really. I don't know. I'm just not fucking into it.
Yeah,
I'm not into that kind of game.
I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah, that's very fair. But I mean, with what I was saying, like in regards to how old it is, not that it's the oldest game.
Yeah.
But it came out.
It was like PS3.
Yeah, it came out console generations ago, but 12 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like a 2012 game. It came out when we graduated.
Okay, what's Skull and Bones' excuse?
They have no excuse. What I was gonna say was like, we would all say. I mean, I guess it's not fair for me to say, but I know that like God of War 3 is an amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
But when you compare it to like
exactly.
God of War, you're like, oh, God of War 3 is kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know? But it's like still a good game for, coming out a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe if I ever play The Last of Us 2, I can give that comparison.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's quite a bit more mechanically different in that game. They probably do a lot of things different. But I have no idea. I don't know the first thing about the second game.
It's like adding some things, revamping some things, but it's been a while since I've played The Last of Us, and I haven't even played part 1, like the remake.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing the remake, right? Like I haven't even gone through that yet. But I remember it. I really enjoyed the mechanics, even for, maybe I'm biased in saying this, but even for like how dated it is. I really liked the combat. I thought the gunplay was really good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I love stealth in any game.
Yeah, I think
that's just
me. If you had to do the stealth, it would be annoying, but you don't have to.
You don't have to.
That's usually the route that I take until there's maybe like a couple enemies, and then I'll just kind of fucking shoot them down.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is very annoying when you have 15 clickers running at you.
I was gonna say, there's some parts in the game where it's like clicker heavy, so it's like, I guess if I'm a badass, I don't have to do stuff, but it's it's highly like kind of pushed on you.
It's like I'm pretty scarce here on ammo, so I'm just gonna crawl.
No shivs.
Yeah. But yeah, I actually do. There's a lot that I do like about the game. So I don't think without me playing through the whole thing, it's not fair for me to give like an accurate rating for it now. But so far, I will say I do enjoy it. I just think in totality, it's not my genre.
I've seen, obviously when it came out, I've seen like gameplay in the trailer, but with you playing it, how does it look?
Oh, dude, it looks insane. Remake. And it actually doesn't run that bad. I've had like a few frame drops.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had any crashes. So despite what people say online, if you have a decent Ryzen CPU and at least a 3080, you're gold, baby.
I would imagine. So with...
And that's a 1440p, so not bad.
What do you think about like the first take on Joel and Ellie in game versus like Pedro Pascal and Ellie from the show? Sorry, I couldn't remember the actress's name, but Joel and Ellie from the game to the show.
Yeah, I know her name, but I'm blanking on it right
now. Bella Ramsey.
That's it. Yeah,
just came to me.
Nice.
That's my brain.
Pretty much.
Bella Ramsey,
Queen of the North.
Queen of the North.
Do you remember that?
Queen in the North. Yeah.
Yeah. You're saying, what was the question again?
Like, what
was my take on them versus the show?
Yeah, like, do you have like a preference? Do you really like them in the game?
Honestly, I think the cast for Ellie for the show is pretty fucking identical. Not in terms of looks, but like just the character.
Oh, she did really good.
Yeah. Even the voice is very similar.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Troy Baker, obviously a phenomenal fucking Joel.
That's why he's in everything.
But also Pedro is too.
Yeah.
And there's slight differences. Like obviously Joel, I'm pretty sure, is a white dude. But he's got that like heavy like accent and you know, whereas Pedro doesn't quite really. I think I don't know. I feel like Pedro is almost playing himself in some ways.
I can hear there's certain things that he says in the show where I'm like, oh, okay, that was pretty like Joel-esque, I see what he was doing there. It was a little different, but for the most part, like, yeah, it's kind of hard to get away from that voice.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. I don't know. They did that show really well to the point where there's like some scenes that I remember and the ones in game aren't even as good.
That's fair.
Specifically the Will and Sam moment. Like, it hit way harder in the show, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that's fair. Yeah, that's definitely fair to say.
And in the show, obviously, with the David and Bill.
Mm-hmm. They did that very differently.
That's way different.
Yeah. And we were saying that I almost wish they had more of that in the game, like what they did with the show.
Yeah, it should have been
more of that relationship.
Should have been like a part of the DLC for it.
Like in the game, they were like the way that, what's his name, Bill? Is that the guy that you actually...
Bill, yeah.
Yeah, like he mentions Joe.
As his partner.
As his partner. Then if you like find these little Easter eggs, you realize they were like lovers at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just kind of like talking shit on them the whole time. Where in the show, it's like, no, they were definitely lovers.
Right.
They appreciated everything about each other.
Yeah. But with the background information that you get from the show and then playing it, I think it was really cool because you can connect the two way better. But like, I think playing the game, you wouldn't even think about that. You'd be like, okay, he was his partner. He stole some shit from him. They kind of parted ways, and then he got infected, killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like gay. It was pretty cool.
You like what?
Gay.
You like gay?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's much more gay in the show. I thought it was better.
I was like, yeah, I mean, I like gay too. Yeah, of course I like gay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really have much more to say.
No. I think we should stop there because again, we're going to talk about it more when you actually beat it. I was just curious of first impression. Now that like you're going to like finish it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious what your first impression was, your first take.
Yeah, I got about 6 days to finish.
Hell yeah.
7, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's literally a week from today, the 29th.
Sheesh.
22 plus 7 equals 29. Yeah.
Wow.
Quick math.
Quick
All
maths.
right, so Nintendo Direct. Again, so you didn't have any other games to make note of? It's just those 2, right?
3, actually.
3, okay.
Yes. I guess start out Star Wars Battlefront Classic.
Yeah, this was a huge one.
Yeah.
Huge one. I was actually surprised.
The only one I'd heard of before actually watching it.
I mean, same. I was really surprised that they didn't save this for like the last trailer.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, this was kind of like in the middle. I was expecting, like, as I was watching it, I was expecting this to be the last one. And then they showed it in the middle. I was like, oh shit, what's going to be last?
Yeah.
But yeah, Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. We are getting both games.
Yep.
They're giving us a little bit of more stuff. We're getting a couple new maps. We're getting a new character.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Was it Kit Fisto? Was that the
Fisto.
new character?
Yeah.
And then you're getting like the Jabba the Hutt level or something?
So I thought that was interesting because I had seen that. But what they're doing with these like new levels is, so Jabba's Palace was in Battlefront 2. But they're adding Jabba's Palace to Battlefront 1. And same with in Battlefront 2, you didn't have Bespin Cloud City platforms. That was in the first one. Well, you're now getting that in the second one. So I think those are our new levels. Maybe they're tweaking them a little bit, but those are the new levels we're getting.
That's interesting.
I can't remember if I had seen or maybe they didn't show this. Maybe it's just for when the game releases, but maybe there will be some like original maps, which would be sweet. But the best part, other than us getting it very soon on March 14th, is it's up to 64 players online.
Yeah.
64 players online.
I'm very curious how this is going to work.
A lot of dying.
Yeah.
A lot of respawning.
Yeah. It's definitely not optimized for like a level playing field. Playing it just with your brother or something as a kid, it was bad enough.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine 60 other people.
And it was doable because obviously once you get the hang of it, you're like pretty badass. You're getting to choose like the Jedi or the Sith Lord, with enough kills.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you have 64 people who probably grew up playing this game all being badass, it's going to be really interesting how that plays out.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious how the controls are going to move too, because this is like ancient technology. Fucking PlayStation 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I love how the game controlled. I hope they keep it.
Well, at the
similar.
time, GoldenEye controlled well. But now, if you go back to it, it's going to be kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, but I can just like picture, I can literally see it right now, like third person, just like the way the camera controlled, like the rolling, the dodging, the shoot. I don't know. I thought it controlled pretty well.
Yeah. I'd have to play it again. I haven't played it in years, but I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm excited for it specifically because of the like free-for-all Jedi versus Sith. That was always my favorite.
Yes. So I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure obviously that part of the game was only in the second Battlefront.
Yeah.
And it was only on one map.
Yep.
It was Mos Eisley.
Exactly.
And you could play. Do you remember what that mode was called?
No. Not off the top of my head.
I think they said it in the trailer, but yeah, there was one mode where you could literally play as like all the Jedi and all the Sith.
It was so fun.
And now I think they're adding that mode to probably all the maps, or at least a few
awesome.
more. So it's not just Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
I think that's how you pronounce that.
I think so. Mos Eisley.
Mos Eisley. But yeah. No, I mean, again, we get that really soon, and there's really not much more to say on that because, again, if you grew up playing those games, like, you already know this is going to be something special.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely top-tier Star Wars video games right there.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Oh, gosh, yeah, dude, the hours. The hours. Just fucking, what was it called? Instant action. Gosh, what was that one? What was, like, the classic game mode? Conquest or something. I can just hear the narration from it. They've captured another command post.
So true.
We only have one more command post.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, good shit.
Nostalgic as hell.
Good shit, dude. And I can remember when I played the second one because we had bought it. I bought it from Sears.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
and,
so you are ancient.
Colton was actually staying the night. Dude, we played the ever-living shit out of that game.
Hell yeah.
Dude, gosh. Good times, man. Good times. But yeah, no, we're getting that. March 14th. I'm trying to, like, think of what else did they show off. Because obviously, again, it was, like, jam-packed with a bunch of trailers and stuff. But it was just nothing that really...
It was nothing interesting. Like, there was a epic Mickey Mouse paint game that's like a remake.
Rebrushed, I think. Yeah. They're bringing the Epic Mickey game, the
first
first
did look
one.
Cool. Not that I would play it, but it was like a decent platformer, it seemed like.
Yeah, that one, I've heard pretty decent things about that one.
Yeah.
I would definitely play that before I play Grounded on the Switch.
Oh, fuck.
Dude,
yeah.
It looked like ass.
I didn't even watch that trailer on the Switch.
Dude. You need to watch that trailer.
Oh my god.
But even worse, they are bringing...
I've seen that.
What is that game called? It's like a super demanding game on the PC.
It came out like a few years ago on the PC. Kingdom Come Deliverance, yes.
Dude, that's coming to the Switch?
I don't get it.
Why?
I do not get it.
Why?
My first thought when I seen that, I was like, why are these developers even taking the fucking chance to put that on the system? That's a lot of hard work to put in there to maybe it's going to fail. Like a good fucking chance that it's going to fail.
Seriously.
Like Mortal Kombat 1 wasn't enough. I mean, they were probably in the midst of porting it over when that came out. But like, dude, you know what the fucking Switch is capable of. It can't even run Pokemon.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
I've seen that because that was coming on when during the Nintendo Directs towards the end of it, they always will show like a bunch of trailers really quickly.
Yeah.
before they show off the last one, and that was one of the games they showed off, Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I was like, what? Really?
Dude, we were surprised
Why?
about fucking The Witcher a couple years ago.
I will say I've heard surprising things about that one. That one did surprise me.
I mean, now it's not like a crazy demanding game, but
I've just heard people say that like, you'd be surprised. It actually runs pretty decent. And I guess when you're playing handheld,
it's
and you're not, like,
downscaled a lot.
You know, it's kind of like, okay, this doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
But
either way, insane.
Yeah, we're getting that. But I mean, I guess to be fair, like, you know, some people just have a Switch that probably do want gaming PCs or PS5s, but they can just maybe afford a Switch, or their parents just got them a Switch and that's all they have. So maybe they've always wanted to play that game, so maybe there's some demand for it. I hope it runs decent, but don't have high hopes.
Absolutely not.
But yes, other than Star Wars, there was one trailer, and this was actually the last one. I did not expect for this to be the last trailer, but it looked pretty sweet. And that is Endless Ocean Luminous.
Yeah.
And that launches May 2nd of this year, 2024. And let's see. Take a deep breath and plunge into the Veiled Sea, an unexplored region with discoveries that change with each dive. Encounter and learn about over 500 species of marine life, some of which are presumed extinct or even mythical, which is cool.
Yeah.
Wander together in groups of up to 30 with a Nintendo Switch Online membership. Greet your fellow divers with a gesture and then dive into the depths to share discoveries.
Yeah, so, and by the way, it's all procedurally generated.
Mm-hmm.
So every time you dive down, it's all different.
Right.
Which I thought was really sweet.
That is neat.
Now, it sounds very cool. Although, what it seemed like is it's pretty much like a come to my island on Animal Crossing and come to my museum and look at this. Like, what is the... I mean, what can you do in the game?
I think
and why is it multiplayer?
I think it's hitting on that... And again, we've talked about this many times, but like the mystery and that sense of discovery with like not really creature capturing, but like just discovering, like, oh man, have you like I imagine in the game you have like a journal or something that keeps up with like all the 500 species. Type. Did you get a picture of this or have you found this one? And then playing with friends and be like, dude, we've all been looking for this. I found the yellow dolphin.
Yeah. Up to 30 people, though. That's insane.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's cool. Like, because I imagine that there's some really interesting stuff that they just, like, put under there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, like Atlantis ruins or something.
True.
And I imagine this would probably play better on, like, a PC or just be a better experience on PC or PS5 just because part of the game is probably just, like, the beauty of it, just seeing all these marine life species and stuff and exploring with your friends. But I could still see that being exciting, like playing with, like, if you have 30 friends who have Switches to play with and just you find these ruins and then there's, like, this, you know,
Loch Ness
Monster, this mythological creature.
Giant squid.
Dude, and you're just, like, exploring that together and, like, filling out your Pokédex with everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's, like, the fun factor here.
I could see it being fun for a while, but...
Or
I could be completely wrong because they didn't show too much. It was kind of just like frame by frame showing us like specific things.
Right.
So there could actually be like tasks that you do, maybe taking samples or I don't know, whatever a marine biologist does.
Yeah, hopefully it is more than just swimming around.
Yeah, because I actually looked at, so there's 2 previous games
that
called Endless Ocean blank.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I believe the last one may have come out like 11 or 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I think it was on like the Wii. And then I can't remember where the previous one to that was. But yeah, so they've been working on this one for quite a while, I assume.
But yeah, no, you're right. Hopefully there is just something more to it than that.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, it would be a shame to just swim around and look at things.
Yeah.
Although it's not the worst. I mean, you got Pokemon Snap. That's pretty much all that is.
Yeah.
And it's even less freedom, to be honest.
Well, I
Pokemon
like
Snap.
what they did with Pokemon Snap, though, because that's almost like a rail shooter.
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
But, I mean, I don't know. What is that one game called it kind of gives me the same vibes, like Azuma, or something.
Oh,
Azula.
yeah.
It's just like a calm, relaxing game. I think you just swim and explore.
Yeah.
That's literally the whole game. I feel like
that's true.
That's maybe what this is. You can just do it with friends, and it gives you 500 species to kind of explore and find.
Dave the Diver walked, so endless Ocean Luminous could run.
Did you end up watching that trailer? I didn't watch that one.
I did.
So
it actually looked pretty cool.
How does that tie in with Godzilla?
So Godzilla, I think we may have mentioned it, but it's pretty much bringing Godzilla and the other monsters from Godzilla to the game as like bosses. So you're pretty much fighting like Godzilla.
Okay, because I've never played Dave the Diver. I've heard amazing things, and like I kind of want to try it out, but there is combat in the game?
I think so, of some sort, yeah. Or like maybe just dodging or something, trying to get through the level without getting eaten or something by the monster.
Right.
Something along those lines. But it definitely seemed pretty cool. Like, I get it.
Yeah. Again, I mean, the reviews on that game are crazy.
Yeah.
They're overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
But those were the the only two that I made note of in the Nintendo Direct.
Well, to keep with the ocean theme, there is another game that we saw there. I believe it's coming out on other consoles, though, called Another Crab's Treasure.
Oh, I forgot that was on the Nintendo Direct. Yeah.
April 25th.
Yeah, and that's actually like a Souls-like
It's
game.
a Soulsborne game where you play as a crab, and it actually looked pretty good. I can't even lie.
Cool, because I think the big gimmick is obviously combat. It's very Souls-like, but the gimmick is you're always looking for something to take the place of your shell. So there's a bunch of items just scattered in the ocean.
Yeah.
And each item that kind of you use as your shell, it gives you a different ability. I can't remember. It said the number of them. It was like 30-something or maybe 50, maybe like 30 to 50 different shell-like items that you can use, and they each have different abilities, but you use that to beat enemies and bosses because you're trying to find your original shell. I believe that's like the plot of the game. I don't know what happened to your shell, but you're trying to find your shell. But I'm sure they maybe threw in some more story there other than that. But yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this.
I don't think so, but if you are into Soulsborns and you're into crabs or just crustaceans in general, then this is probably the perfect game for you.
It would actually be really funny if, because obviously the people making games like this, I just imagine that they're Souls fans.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe they keep the story like in game very brief, but it's just item descriptions, just like the Souls games. That would be funny, where that just adds to the lore. Yeah. And then you're like, whoa, this is actually a really deep game.
Yeah, and it was like seemed like fully voiced and everything, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Seemed like a decent game. Guess we'll see. Other than that, from the Nintendo Direct, there was a expansion pack added. With
that's right, more games
with like some Super Nintendo and NES titles like Battletoads Maniacs, Killer Instinct, Snake Rattle and Roll, RC Pro Am, and one Nintendo 64 game called Blast Corps.
I remember renting that game years ago.
But just a random one N64 game to throw in there.
I will say I remember them showing that off, and it's funny to like see the visual of these games that Adam Blank has talked about.
I know, yeah.
And like has done episodes on that I've listened to. It's funny to actually like see what these games look like now.
Yeah, I had the same thought when I was watching it.
This is the game you're obsessed with?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think now we can get into the IGN Fan Fest.
IGN Fistfuck. Fan Fest.
Fan Fest.
So, this is a question for the listener/viewer and also Chris.
Okay.
Did you know that Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is still getting DLC?
No, I did not. I remember like within a year, I think it got some DLC, but that was the last I had heard. Hold on.
Still getting
That was
DLC.
on FanFest? I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what is this DLC about?
Well, it's called Goku's Next Journey, and it actually just came out yesterday.
Oh shit.
And it features Pan and Oob. So it's going like the extended Dragon Ball Z route. So they're covering like fucking everything Dragon Ball Z in that game.
Hold on, but is this original content? Like I don't remember.
Pan was at the end of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, but like
And
what
Oob.
did it I remember it showed Oob, but like it was just for like a few minutes. Like
Yeah.
they didn't get into anything.
Well, I'm sure in the manga it goes into more detail. I don't know
Didn't it show
the
Oob during
extent.
like one of the World Martial Arts tournaments?
Yeah, at the end. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Interesting. So you get to play as like Pan and Oob. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
To be able to play as Oob. I mean, I'm sure there was some.
Well, I don't know if you play as them, but you at least fight them from what I've
Okay.
seen in the trailer. I think you can
Okay.
play as Pan at least. I think they were controlling Pan in the trailer. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. Didn't know the game was still getting DLC.
Did they add superhero DLC?
I don't know if there's any super content in the game. There could be.
Oh. I guess that is a fair point, but I just meant like the latest movie we'd got. Like I don't even know if they put that stuff in.
I want to say Xenoverse 2 is still getting DLC, so they probably got it in there.
Hold on, I could have swore they had some super content.
They definitely could. I just don't know, if I'm being honest.
I mean, the thing is, if they have super content, then it's a decent amount.
I feel like I played like 50 hours of that game, just didn't even beat it.
Yeah, that's a big game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even nearly that close. Yeah, there's a lot of shit to do, but that is crazy that they are still like updating that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, crazy awesome. Like,
No, absolutely. Because
we're gonna see Antonio getting on a bunch.
I know, right? I was reading the comments under it when I was watching the trailer, and people were like, "Man, I really wish One Piece games were this good."
Dude, I mean, for real. I mean, not to One Piece, but I just wish they would kind of take that formula with a bunch of other animes.
It's got to be easily the
Naruto in
best
particular.
RPG made from an anime. Because, I mean,
I don't
they
get
hit
it.
fucking everything.
I don't get it. Dragon Ball Z is shit.
True.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
absolute-
it's just super
It's absolute
overrated.
ass.
Super
Cover your hat.
super overrated. Kidding, of course. We're making a callback to a previous episode. Bitches.
Yeah, you know that if you watched or listened.
Bitches. Which we'll get more into Akira Toriyama a little later. Something I really want to talk about.
Okay.
But again, so that was during the IGN Fan Fest. That trailer.
It may have
showing
been.
off
It was like in between like all those videos on IGN
Yeah, no,
on
I'm gonna have to
their
look into that.
videos.
I don't know what it would take to make me like hop back into Kakarot because I feel like I would have to start all over again.
Yeah.
But who knows? That mood could definitely hit me.
Oh yeah.
I'm 30 now. No telling what's gonna hit me.
There's definitely a
You know?
mood that I get into where I'm just like, yeah, I kind of want to play that game,
Yeah.
but I gotta have that mood,
Mm-hmm.
and they're
Or
always
just
rare.
go through that story and you're like, I could watch it all over, but I really could play Kakarot because it covers everything.
It covers everything, and visually, way better.
Yeah, amazing.
It's so fucking good.
But the first thing I seen with the IGN Fan Fest, which I thought was really cool, I'm guessing this was revealed during this because I don't know if there was maybe rumor of this already, but the Borderlands movie.
I think it was revealed during it because that's
it was?
yeah, because I'd only recently started seeing the trailer pop up, which I have not watched yet.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't.
Oh, it looks. Have you played any of them?
I've definitely played at least. I don't know which one it was, but not much at all. I've
Okay.
never went through the Borderlands games.
So I don't know if I would say I'm a big fan, but me and my dad went through the first two. Had a lot of fun. We started going through the third one, but at that point I had, it had been years since I had lived with them. I think when we went through the first two, I'd still lived with them. but we never got through the third one because we would only play when I would just kind of go over there and visit. But what we played with the third one was a lot of fun. Those games have a charm of their own, very humorous, very silly, but lots of gunplay and action, over the top.
Yeah.
And I thought that what they showed us of the trailer, it did a really good job. And I think very solid cast so far.
Are there going to be 14 million gazillion guns in the movie?
That would be awesome. Right? Did you see the cast by chance?
Mm-mm. I think we had talked about it once before, but the only one I remember is Jack Black.
Oh, okay. So yes, Jack Black. He's playing Claptrap.
Yeah.
Which again, just another perfect cast.
I did
for Jack
see
Black.
A comment on it that was like, I didn't even realize that was Jack Black.
You can hear it in there, but it is very. It seemed like Jack Black kind of studied the source material, you know.
Yeah, so I mean he's a gamer. He probably played Borderlands.
Of add a little bit of Claptrap to the voice, but it was still him.
That's cool.
It was really well done. But Kevin Hart's in it. I thought his role. I can't remember. I don't know if he's playing Roland from the game. I think that was the character's name. But just based off the trailer, I liked what he added to the character. What's her name?
Who's playing Trump?
Playing Trump?
Yeah. Borderlands, right?
Oh. That would be funny if there's like a little fucking reference in there or something. I mean, that would be pretty deep, but...
Yeah, it's a deep cut.
Yeah. I think her name's Kate Blanchett.
Oh, Blanchett, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's her. She's playing... I don't even remember. Again, not the biggest fan. Had fun with it, but I don't even remember the actual character's name. But she looked like I liked what she brought to the role. Yeah, I don't really remember the other ones. But again, you need to watch the trailer. It looks sweet.
I'll watch it. Yeah. Sweet. When does this come out? I know it's been in the works for a while.
I didn't make note of anything. I don't even know if they had an official release date, if I'm being honest. But the next thing I have on here is very brief, but you had also seen the trailer, so we talked about it for a second. Dome King Cabbage.
Jesus Christ.
I'll let you talk about it.
Okay.
What did you think of that?
What I wrote was Dome King Cabbage, coming soon to Nintendo Switch and Steam, describes itself as a psychedelic visual novel set in the world of a monster collecting RPG, and I have this written down. And I have no idea what it is after watching the trailer, but it's super interesting.
Real quick, Borderlands comes out August 9th this year.
Okay.
But it's funny because my word for word, I mean, it was very brief what I wrote. Dome King Cabbage, weirdest trailer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Total shroom trip.
Absolutely.
Like, this game is going to trigger me.
Oh, man.
But yeah, did you already say like visual novel? But it's also like a monster capturing RPG as well. A very psychedelic.
It's got like every fucking art style you could think of. Yeah, it was honestly incredibly cool, but I have no fucking idea what it is.
Yeah,
I cannot describe it.
I don't like. It looked very interesting, but who are you trying to appeal to?
Anybody that smokes that ganja, man.
The ganja mon, is that a Digimon?
Ganjamon.
It sounds like a Digimon.
Oh fuck.
And I had made note of this earlier because before we started shooting, we were watching some of the trailers all over again. But it seems like with this console gen, and this is what you would want with like a new gen of consoles, but it seems like they're just trying so many different things. Like a lot of these trailers we've seen, they were just so like, what is this about? Just because they were just trying so many new things with games. Like we're seeing I've already seen a couple like found footage esque like trailers for games. You showed me one. Maybe a good segue into it if you have something on that. But it's like a found footage horror game, and that's not even like anything crazy, but we've never seen that done before. They're just really pushing the boundaries of like.
Hey, you ever heard of Slender Man?
Oh, was that? I mean, it's been. To be fair, it's been a while since I had
There's
played
not
that.
many of
But
them.
is that like in the style of found footage? If so, I
Actually, I
definitely don't remember.
No, I guess it's not.
Like camcorder, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on. Wasn't the Blair Witch Project that came out? Wasn't that technically one?
That may have been. You know what? Yeah, you may be right. That may have been.
I can't remember if it was or not.
So if we have seen it, it's still relatively new. But I will say I haven't seen anything done
quite like
well.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good segue because that game is called Silent Breath, and it is an upcoming horror game powered by Unreal Engine 5. Silent Breath features a microphone detection mechanic, dynamic scares, and more. What I put was visually the environment is incredibly hard to tell apart from real life and make the people in it look bad in comparison because they feel like they shouldn't even be in there.
Yeah.
The models and shit, they just look outdated as fuck. I hope, since this is the first we've seen of it, hopefully it gets updated to where it looks more realistic in that regard or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks goofy as hell with those monsters.
Yeah. I'm trying to like put my finger on what it is exactly, you know? Because I feel like, because based off of the date because again, you're playing the game as if it's found footage and it's like the 90s, like a camcorder.
1999 is what it said.
So I feel like it's pretty smart because everything doesn't have to be super crisp because it's a camcorder from the 90s.
Right.
So you can have some things blurry, but it still looks really realistic.
Mm-hmm.
It almost felt like the creatures were just like had higher resolution. Like I feel like if they would have blurred them out a little bit, maybe you would have fixed that.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it was.
But it was something about like maybe the lighting too. It just you could tell like when there was a creature on screen, I was like, those textures are different. That doesn't look quite as realistic.
There's something about
the movement too.
The movements were weird as hell. Like there was a couple of them that they weren't even actually touching the ground, like their feet. Mm-hmm. They were just kind of hovering almost in a way, but it seemed like they were supposed to be touching the ground. So there's definitely some kinks to be worked out there. Obviously, this is the first time we've seen about it. But it did say no release date, but will be coming to PC via Steam and Epic Store.
Okay.
Yeah. But it looks like kind of like a ripoff of that game, Don't Scream.
Which is a Steam game?
It's a Steam game. I believe it may be on other consoles. I don't know. But it was it's another one of those like voice detection ones where you pretty much got to play through the whole game without making a noise past a certain decibel, or you have to pretty much restart all over.
What do you think? I'm pretty sure this is the term you used, dynamic scaring.
I don't know.
What is that?
I think just different ways to scare you.
Like, does it almost like learn from the way you move the cameras?
It could be.
Is it making note of like, is he doing a double take here?
There may be some
is he looking around corners? Is he always checking behind him? Like, is it learning from that?
It would
and then scaring you based off the way you play?
I mean, the game itself looks very simple. You go around, you pick up some notes.
It's kind of like Slenderman.
So I think with some AI implementation, they could definitely do something like that.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty fucking cool if you could just play the game again and not be scared the same way ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, shit, we need that.
Well, this is definitely a game. It's funny, we were talking about games that like appeal to us, like, this seems interesting, but I'm probably not going to buy this. We'll get this game.
Yeah, no,
because this is a fun game that we'll have everyone on, Discord, someone streaming.
Exactly.
And we're just watching a buddy play through this, or we're taking turns somehow. Who knows, they may have some
a LAN party.
That, which would be sick.
Yeah.
But this is definitely one we'll probably end up picking up at some point.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks fun.
We always have that itch. We're like, dude, let's play a spooky game.
Yeah.
Well, a spooky multiplayer game.
Pretty much.
But yeah, no, that one definitely looked really interesting and just looked super realistic. But yes, hopefully it's still, because again, you said there's no release date.
Not
so
yet.
hopefully they are still working on some things. Like they have to know, like, hey, we need to get these textures right.
Yeah, but if you want to
Get
see a
these movements
realistic looking ass game, watch the Silent Breath trailer, because that shit is like hard to differentiate that from real life,
And
aside from like the character models.
and that was probably you watching it on, like, where did you first see
Yeah, it was
that?
like a 1080p YouTube video.
Where'd you watch it though? Was
On
it
YouTube?
was it like did you have a headset on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, like, I was watching it just downstairs on my TV, but I imagine if like you have a headset in game, I'm sure it's different when you're in game and you have that like 3D audio.
Yeah.
You can just like hear this thing behind you, and
I didn't even think about
Just
that. I was just
that's-
kind of appalled by just the visuals.
I mean,
It was crazy.
yeah, but like that audio is probably gonna bring it to another level.
Yeah.
Like that's got to be fucking.
That
shit
is
my
true.
Pants scary.
That's very true.
Damn, dude, you know it'd be crazy if dude, this would be so cool. I don't know if a game has done this. But again, I feel like you'd have to get AI in with stuff like this. But like before you play the game, you almost like fill out some information. Like, hey,
Mhm.
this is my name. You know, can you imagine like really immersing yourself where you're hearing just voices and it's like,
Yeah.
Robert,
Dude, that would
do you
be
wanna
so
play hide and
sick.
seek, Robert? You know, just some
Oh.
really creepy shit like that.
Or you have your friend fill it out.
Yeah, dude, that'd be awesome.
November.
I
February 22nd.
Yeah, I remember when you were born.
It just names my address.
Your mother should have swallowed you. Oh my gosh, your address just puts it out.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
That's a really fucking good idea, though. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we got?
All right. I don't have much on this, but I just thought it was worth making note of. Flintlock,
Actually,
the Siege of Dawn.
I think we've seen something about this a while ago, right?
I've heard of this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This wasn't. I don't think we've.
It's not
got
a-
gameplay.
Yeah,
for
it's
it,
not
though.
like a launch trailer.
So Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn, looks to be another Souls-like game with some new mechanics thrown in. I'm sorry, I'm really boring with describing things. I just said looks interesting.
Just make it cringe.
Looks interesting. Summer 2024 release.
Okay.
I'm trying to like remember if there's anything to like really make note of. I don't think there was. The gameplay looked pretty cool. It didn't look, how some Souls-like games, like with the combat, it can just look really clunky.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't have that. It looked pretty like clean and smooth. But yeah, it had a really cool aesthetic with a name like Flintlock. Like I feel like that's enough to get me in. That just sounds cool.
Freaky idea.
I have a Flintlock pistol tattoo on me.
Wow, you're so cool.
Yeah, I mean, big
Hey,
evil
everybody,
fan.
this guy's a badass.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You said make it cringe, right? But yeah, Flintlock, Siege of Dawn. I know that didn't sound interesting, but I think you should still maybe check out the trailer. It looks pretty cool. Actually, it wasn't even really a trailer. It was just like a preview. They showed off some gameplay.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Hitman World of Assassination. The
Oh.
Undying.
I didn't think that was even worth making note of.
Well, I did.
Okay.
The only reason I put it here is because Sean Bean dies in literally everything he is in.
Scene Bean.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a meme?
I feel like it is. They
I
call
mean,
him
'cause
the Undying.
It's called The Undying.
But if you watch the trailer, it says in there, Sean Bean, well, here's what I wrote. Sean Bean plays the antagonist known as Mark Faba. And it says in the trailer that he's been confirmed to be killed more than a dozen times, but keeps managing to come back from the dead.
Ooh, it's got to be a meme, dude. It's
It
got to be
has
a
to be.
play on how many times he's died
Yeah.
and like the works that he's shown up in.
So this is maybe the first piece of media that Sean Bean is in where he never actually dies.
But
Or maybe
I
Agent 47 maybe kills him.
but literally dies millions of times.
Yeah.
Just because it is like free DLC and like millions of people are going to kill him.
I'll never forgive them for that season 1
Oh,
of Game of Thrones.
never. we don't talk about that. We actually skipped the first season.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
I didn't realize
Um,
though, because I was looking up Hitman World of Assassination on Steam. I didn't realize that it was pretty much all of the games put together. Hitman 1, 2, and 3 with all their like DLC. But like all that DLC together is like over like $100 something. There's like a lot.
Oh, really? I didn't know that's what
they
it was.
Sell
either.
it like all separately. Yeah, like the game itself is like $10 maybe. But they sell like a fuck ton of DLC in this one game.
You know what's interesting?
And people hate it. Like the comments on it were fucking horrible. They're like, fuck this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like, fuck this business model. You guys suck. Making us buy a game and then pay for the fucking DLC, blah, blah, blah.
Which, I mean, facts.
Yeah.
But you would think that, based off like the things I've said about stealth games, you would think that I'm really into a game like this.
I feel like Hitman would be fun. I've never played a Hitman game, I don't think.
I feel like it just takes... I've played them before. Because I can't tell you how many times I've tried to like play through Absolution. But I know at that point that's somewhat of an older Hitman game now.
Yeah.
But I just can't get into it, man. I feel like it just takes...
I feel like
it takes too much patience.
Have you ever played Payday?
I think I may have played with like you or Colton, maybe both of y'all at one point. Like the first one, long time ago.
Yeah. I remember that being pretty fun. But I feel like you would like it.
Hitman is just solo, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's online or anything.
Yeah,
Could
but
be.
you have to like, and again, this sounds like it would be promising, but like you have to like kind of watch your target, follow your target, see what their like routine is, and then just kind of, from there's usually so many options on ways to kill them.
Yeah.
You may have to take out a bunch of people to then steal their disguise, or like, become someone else. There's just so much, and I'm just like, this doesn't really appeal to me.
Interesting.
Yeah. But again, it does have like a lot of stealth in there, and I like stealth games, but yeah.
Can you call yourself a ranger?
I know, something about the Hitman formula just never appealed to me.
No more rogue ranger for you. You're banned.
No.
You're forever a wizard.
No. No. Fuck no.
You're a wizard, Christopher.
No. I will always be a rogue, ranger, assassin.
He's the rogue one.
The sneaky one. All right, so this is the one that I'm probably most excited for, that I have the most
I already know what it is.
amount of information on, and I know we're trying to get away from this, but I am going to be reading some stuff that I wrote down. And a lot of this is taken from the official Bandai website, hint. So this is Sandland. This is a game we've talked about before, but we got a hands-on preview, and not that we had gotten it, but
I was about to say, how the fuck?
I've played
you got
this
a sponsor?
Game, guys. That would be awesome, right? No, but I'd watched a hands-on preview, and I'm like, wow, this actually looks really sick, because the first time we seen this, we were like, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so Sandland. Hands-on preview of Sandland. Oh, shit. Why did I start reading from there? So Sandland, we did see a hands-on preview. Looks like a total love letter to Akira fans with his design and world building. So, and again, this is from the official Bandai website. So dive into a desert world where both humans and demons suffer from an extreme water shortage. Meet the fiend prince, Beelzebub, his chaperone thief, and the fearless Sheriff Rao, and follow the team in an extraordinary adventure in search of the legendary spring hidden in the desert. And apparently this is based off of a manga by Akira Toriyama.
How
that's
cool
been
would it
out
be?
for like a long time now.
Yeah.
It's actually I think it's finally getting an anime adaptation
Oh,
as
really?
well, with, along with the game.
Oh, that's actually cool. I was going to say, how cool would it be if they like added a character named Anne that was a mechanic?
Anne?
Yeah.
That's a mechanic?
Wouldn't that be kind of cool? That's one of the only things I remember from the trailer. So they did.
Oh, they did? Oh.
Yeah.
Does it say that? Oh, it just says a chaperone thief.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I remember the mechanic. I just didn't make note that her name was Anne.
Yeah, it was like one of those like cringe dialogues.
And meet Anne.
And meet Anne. She's a mechanic that you can find within the desert.
In Sandland.
Yeah.
All right, so in this action RPG, you will become the main character Beelzebub. I always wanted to say Beelzebub. Beelzebub.
Beelzebubby.
Beelzebub, and learn how to control his demonic powers as you lead your company of heroic misfits while exploring the legendary world of Sandland. Use your tact and imagination to develop tanks and other vehicles that will help you navigate this ruthless land and build up your base of operations into a thriving city, bringing back water to the land. Take off on an original story of friendship and justice in Akira Toriyama fashion, written and designed by the creator of Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama. Discover his unique art style that flows through the game in every detail, from world building, humor, to his iconic character and vehicle creation. And seeing this really made me think, like, when you see Dragon Quest and Dragon Ball and Dr. Slump and now Sandland, like, obviously his character creation is very iconic.
Yeah.
But you don't really think about that with his, like, vehicle creation. But it's the same throughout, dude.
It is.
Like, it's just so iconic with, like, the hover cars, like the red ribbon robots, dude.
Yep.
That's, like, scattered throughout this game, and, like, Dr. Slump and just all that.
Yeah, it's weird to be like, you can just look at anything he's drawn and be like, that's Akira Toriyama. Or at least inspired.
Inspired by, yeah. Explore the world and search every nook and cranny to loot essential materials that will help the team take on harder and harder challenges. Unlock vehicles that can be leveled up with various mechanical parts, including weapons, engines, and suspensions. Design and operate a large variety of vehicles, including battle tanks with powerful cannons, motorbikes that speed through deserts, and jump bots that bounce over craters to explore every corner of the continent. Build and customize all these different vehicles to your taste and style, including paint jobs. And it showed off some of, like, the actual vehicle customization, and there's a decent amount to it. It looked really sweet. Become Beelzebub, master his demonic powers, and develop his fighting abilities to match your play style. Save Sandland your way and in style while doing it. And lastly, develop the base camp in the city of Spino as you build relationships with its inhabitants. Watch the town and its capabilities grow as you bring back the exiled people of the desert to Spino. Listen to their requests and wishes and unlock useful materials and city features to help customize your town, in part to allow Sandland to thrive once again. And I went to the official website, and I got a lot of this, again, off the official website. And during this kind of key feature moment, it was, like, showing off a little clip of him, like, kind of customizing a house, like, just, like, with almost like Animal Crossing styles with like, what he's putting here and where he's putting it. So it's kind of cool that they added that into a game like this. But yeah, like, after seeing like this gameplay and, like, digging more into it, I gotta say, this is something I'm actually pretty stoked for.
And when does this come out?
Again, this just being a love letter to Akira Toriyama fans, which we are. Shit, I think there is a release date. Why did I not make a note of it?
Fucking
all
God.
right, talk about Elden Ring or something.
Oh my God, you can't just throw it under the bus like that.
No, I'm gonna find it.
All right.
All right, well, distract him while I find it.
What should I say? What should I say while Chris does some extra research on the shit that he actually did the most research on?
All right, so Sandland comes out April 25th.
Whoa, that's really soon.
It's weird because I see April 24th here, but then I see on Steam it says April 25th. So I'm just going to go with April 25th.
Huh.
But either way, yeah, like you said, that's soon. So that's exciting.
Well, damn. Now you have a month to play Final Fantasy Rebirth. You're going to play that, right?
Yeah.
Then you have a month to play Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah.
And then you'll have another month to play Sandland.
I really don't know if I'm going to play Final Fantasy.
Well, I mean, you didn't finish the first one, so.
Yeah. It's like
you
one
didn't
of
even
those
finish
games...
16.
I didn't.
You didn't even finish 15.
No, I did finish 15.
Nope. All right. Who's the DLC boss? Main one.
Oh.
Exactly.
No, I definitely didn't play any of the DLC.
No, I'm just kidding.
But
I'm surprised you finished 15.
No, I will say, even if I
surprising.
did, odds are I would not remember their name. Because the DLC was like featured around like you played as like the different, like the other trio that he's with.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember their name. Prompto,
DLCs don't matter.
Gladius. I don't remember the other guy's name. Prompto.
Oh, Prompto.
I'm pretty sure that was his name. Prompto. Gladius. I know that was his name, the big dude, Gladius. And I don't remember the other guy's name.
Sid.
And then Noctis. Nah, Sid was like... 15 had like a shitty Sid.
Damn. Did him dirty. They needed that redemption.
He was like an old mechanic. He was like an adventurer who was in a team with Noctis's father.
Yeah,
I'm probably remembering this shit so fucking incorrectly.
And they needed that redemption on 16.
And again, didn't beat it, but I can say that they redeemed him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sandland. All right, sorry, you said you didn't have much on Elden Ring?
No, I said you can't just throw it under the bus like that. I do not have much.
Oh,
I don't think there's a lot to say about it, to be honest. But
probably not. Is there anything else we need to talk about before? We should probably end on Elden Ring.
Yeah. No, that was all I had as far as the other games.
Okay, so we can end on Elden Ring.
I think so.
All right, so with that being said, they are re-releasing Elden Ring
on the Nintendo Switch.
On the Nintendo Switch.
Oh my fucking god. GameSphere.
It's spherical.
Yeah, dude.
That's so funny.
But no, for real. Elden Ring finally, after 2.5 years,
pretty much,
is getting DLC.
Yeah, by the time when it releases, it will be close to 2.5 years.
Fuck. Oh, I did put it here. June 21st.
Yes, June 21st, 2024. That is the release date for the DLC, and it is called Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erd Tree.
And it will also, it's coming to all systems, but it's also coming to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4.
I did see that.
Which is cool.
I think that, I could be wrong. I want to say that was digital only. I don't know if they're going to have
I
physical
imagine.
copies.
Yeah, it'd be weird if they...
Yeah, I think for those, if you haven't upgraded yet, that's just going to be digital only.
Yeah, but definitely cool still.
Yeah, what
forgot those consoles even existed, if I'm being honest.
Seriously. I don't even have a PS4 here. I got 3 PS3s here.
True.
Not a PS4.
Oh, fuck.
But what did you think of that trailer?
I thought it was really cool. Definitely a crazy variation of bosses. They all look very different. It's crazy how many ideas that Miyazaki can have for bosses. How the fuck has he not run out of boss ideas? Or just enemy type ideas?
I'll tell you what, this is what it is. So, again, I turned 30 today, and I've started to realize that with people, what you pick up on is what type of tism that everyone has. Because we've all got the tism.
Yes.
And some people, like Miyazaki, they win the tism lottery, where you are what's called a savant. So Miyazaki has the design savant. He's a design savant. He is just a genius when it comes to just designing things, coming up with like world building and lore. And character development.
Come on.
And creation.
Dude, what the fuck?
What?
You're taking away from George R.R. Martin.
I mean, he's a savant too. No, he's a savant
He's
too.
the lore savant.
I will say...
He was like, I need your art direction. Or not your art direction, but your story direction here.
I actually have the website pulled up, and funny enough, that was one of the questions. It was like answering random questions. Did George R.R. Martin provide new material for Shadow of the Erd Tree? Confirmed by Miyazaki, Game of Thrones author Jar Jar Binks. George R.R. Martin did not provide new material for the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion. The DLC is based on one part of the mythos the American writer originally created for FromSoft. FromSoft during the base Elden Ring development.
Yeah, I was
it's
reading
based off of some mythos that he originally created.
I was reading something about it, and I believe there's an area specific in the trailer that you can only get to once you beat Moog. You remember Moog?
Mm-hmm.
Like the fire demon god or whatever?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I had to cheese him.
Poison, fire poison. Oh, yeah, where you got to jump over the edge and you just fucking kill him. Yeah. I think they patched that. It's a good job.
Stop.
But
Stop.
yeah, I believe there's like something to do with him, and then Mikola, probably, I don't know, some Radagon tie-in. I don't know. The fucking...
Dude,
that's the hardest lore to understand.
I feel like
the Soulsborne games.
Oh, dude, we should totally attempt to take that plunge for the podcast.
Dude, we would get shit on.
Dude, I know, but that would be so fun. Like, I feel like that would be a really good episode to have, like, Colton on, because he actually fucking watches those videos, and, like, he's better at retention. He can retain that shit, so he can fucking teach us. But that would be so fun, because I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, my cousin Mikey, he's, like, still going through the game, and he was sending me a snap of something.
Which is crazy.
And I was like, dude, I need to replay this, because I beat this game, started New Game Plus. I know nothing about this story. Like,
I know, right?
Nothing. But people have put so much love in their heart into this, creating all this lore, and it's probably so dark and so good, and I just didn't even take the time to learn it.
Well, the thing is,
I just fucking spit on them.
It's so hard to like go through that game and actually learn the lore without. I don't know how people learn it. I just don't understand. How do you put the fucking pieces together?
People are obviously much smarter than me, but yes, that's the part. Like, that's the hard part. Is
you get one line of dialogue
pieces together. Just listening to all the dialogue, like probably having to look it back up. Like, all right, what did they say here? And then read item descriptions and then piece that together. It's like, oh, so this was this person. Oh shit, they were related to here, and they ruled this area. You know, like they had to piece all that shit together.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm sure they have some type of guides online as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And going off of, Miyazaki's probably done so many just different interviews, and people are like finding these interviews and again using things here just to piece things together.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much part of the puzzle that, there's so many pieces. It's just like taking the time to find all those pieces and put it together.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it takes multiple playthroughs if you want to do it organically. Because, like, you can go through, say, your first playthrough, you can kill one person, and then you lose, 5 other conversations because this one thing happened, which creates a domino effect, and 3 other characters die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's that
one game
of my
is so
gripes
insane
about the game.
It's like, okay, well, let me Google this first. If I kill you, what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's a game that, like, definitely couldn't be a thing without the internet.
Yeah, you would just be helpless.
Just make sure when you clip something from this episode, it's nothing talking about Elden Ring.
Oh, absolutely not. If you made it this long, we did, in fact,
we are
beat
casuals.
The games.
We can't stress it enough.
We did, in fact, beat the
casuals.
games. I actually beat Millennia on my second try, so don't come at me, motherfucker. Not you, Chris, but whoever's watching this, because I know you fucking didn't. I know you took 15 hours to beat her.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know the lore.
It took me many more tries. And I was doing my best to cheese. I will let you know. If there's a way to cheese it, I will. A game like that, fuck yeah, I will.
Fuck yeah. Hoarfrost stomp, bitch.
That only took me about 60% of the way through.
Yeah.
I had to...
they patched that shit.
I had to Moonveil the rest of the game.
The katana, yeah.
Yeah, that thing was fucking awesome.
Well, hey, you're better than most who are using the fucking... that blood sword. I think Colton was using that.
Colton was using that.
Yeah. He was like, oh, I got a min-max. Whereas I just unga bunga.
Dude, doo-doo, buff. buff. Doo-doo, doo-doo.
Oh, gotta love a strength build.
Well, especially because that will, especially with Millennia, like, because I don't know if it's just enough damage or if it's just, like, coded in those weapons, but that will, like, interrupt her.
Yeah,
And a lot of enemies.
It knocks her poise back.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it is.
And that was the thing about her is like you have to do enough damage, or else she's gonna heal. She heals every time she hits you.
If she gets a hit in. Oh yeah, and then some of her combos are like da 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 da.
Yeah, and I had to go in that without my fucking my summon because every time he gets hit, she heals even more. It's like so fucked up.
I can't even remember the name of the summon I was using because remember the mimic was so OP for
I think
a
it was
while.
the
assassin.
The assassin, yeah.
The assassin.
Yeah,
just because he was fast and he could like jump out of the way and shit.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
Gosh dang, dude. Yeah, I need to take that plunge and just
when this DLC comes out, man.
Dude, have some type of I need to look there's got to be a fucking like encyclopedia for this game or something.
Oh, absolutely.
Got to be a guide that just like is written in a way that just goes through the game. Like it's like chronological. That'd be awesome. I would love to go through that and play the game all over again.
There has to be.
All right, so let me read off what I have here real quick. So again, all this information was taken from the official Elden Ring wiki page. New story. So guided by Empyrean Mikola, players are beckoned to the land of shadow, a place obscured by the Erd Tree where the goddess Marika first set foot. In these strange new lands, players discover the dark secrets of the world as they meet others who follow in Mikola's footsteps with ulterior motives. New location. Location. Gosh, take it. Chris, get your shit together, man. Take a second.
That hooked on phonics just...
And really think about what you're about to say. New location. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree takes players beyond the lands between to explore the Land of Shadow, a completely new world from Elden Ring. Players can seamlessly travel back and forth between its vast maps, interspersed.
Oh.
I don't know if I've ever seen that word. Interspersed with diverse situations and meticulous dungeons where menacing enemies roam. New content. Shadow of the Erd Tree adds new weapons, equipment, weapon skills, and magic not found in the base game, Elden Ring, along with new enemies, boss encounters, and plot lines to further increase players' RPG freedom. Take on these threats with the new powers you can acquire. And I will say, that didn't say too much about the story, but I know this Elden Ring, this DLC somehow focuses around the antagonist Mesmer the Impaler, because he's showed off.
That's the dude, the snake, right?
It's like the snake, and then he has that badass spear. He just looks badass, like most bosses in these games. And he's also, there's a collector's edition that comes with a statue of this character. So he's definitely like the main antagonist, Mesmer the Impaler, which is just a badass name.
That's sick.
All right, so Mesmer the Impaler information, just a little bit on him. In one of the main pieces of artwork of Mesmer the Impaler, he is shown to be sitting on the throne of Morgoth the Omen King. In the words of game director Miyazaki, this symbolizes he is at least on equal terms to other demigods and children of Queen Marika. Part of the DLC will be exploring why the Lands of Shadow exists, as well as their relationship with this mysterious antagonist. So,
there's some lore.
A lot to look forward to, yeah. Yeah, and dude, it's just crazy. Like, that's just pieced together from, like, a still image.
I know, yeah.
And, I mean, it really gets into it on this page. If you haven't, if you're really into this, definitely check out the wiki, because there's a bunch of speculation, like expansion speculations that it goes into, and I'm like, I don't want to read it all off because I really don't know what I'm talking about here. But I mean, it's interesting. It's super interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't know if this will be like a day one play. I don't know if maybe like we're all playing together or something or getting into it at the same time.
June 21st. So depending on what comes out around there,
yeah,
definitely depends.
I'm sure it's safe to say we will all get into this at some point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there you have it. Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree DLC.
Oh, and also the map is supposedly as big as Limgrave, which is a pretty big portion of the base map. Obviously, they're not gonna add a map as big as the base game because that would be insane.
That would be absolutely.
It's already a massive game.
And again, Limgrave is that very first chunk of the area, of the map that's like you're kind of pushed to explore first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guarantee you with this DLC, it'll probably be a good 40 hours at least.
Yeah.
I would assume.
That's fair. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But there you have it. That was a Nintendo Direct. And at least the first few days.
And IGN Fistfuck Festival.
At least the first days of IGN Fan Fest. I don't know if it's still going on, but those are just some of the bigger games that were covered. What would you say out of all of those games? Well, out of everything you've seen, is there something you're most excited for?
I think Silent Breath, to be honest. No, I just think it looks really cool. Very simple, but I think it would be just a lot of fun to play with like a couple buddies just hanging out.
It'd be a really cool experience for sure.
Like say me, you, and Ken were all just hanging out for like a weekend.
Oh,
we could just play that downstairs. That would be super fucking fun.
Super spoopy.
Everybody shut the fuck up.
Super spoopy. Something just fucking crawls at you.
Remus just walks, sets it off.
Oh gosh. Oh dude. Yeah, no. That's gonna be a fun one for sure.
Well, I guess yours is Sandland, right?
Oh yeah.
That's Sandland. Your most anticipated.
Yeah. And there's even a
am I missing one?
I'd probably have to be even more excited to do this, but there is also a like collector's edition coming out
for Sandland.
For Sandland, that has like the Beelzebub statue.
That's cool.
And I'm like, that's so cool. I may look into. I wonder if this manga was released in English. I may have to look into seeing if I can like acquire it or find it somewhere online. Maybe it's cheap, or again, I can just read it for free. I wouldn't mind like trying it out. Maybe read a few chapters, see if it grabs me. Because I don't always need. I don't think Sandland is like. I don't imagine it being like a very action heavy manga series.
Right.
But neither was OG Dragon Ball. Still love that. So who knows? I may really like Sandland. Because again, it is just something about. I mean, you can relate. It's just something about Akira Toriyama's like design, his style that just draws you in. That's just so iconic and that we love because, we kind of grew up with it. So, yeah, I'll have to try that out. But, yes, Sandland, that would probably be the one that I'm most excited for.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, well, hey, this has been episode 70
of the Hardcore Podcast.
See you next
week. Goodbye.